I'm coming, Mr. Dog. In your face. Genius. I'm a fucking genius, bro. You gotta thank me when you're all good, man. I'm gonna pick you up.
Life is fucked up. Like today, I was on Richmond Glen and I saw so many girls who dressed just like me.
What's up, you sexy ass bitch? How you doing today?
Doing live my multiple times. See
Right.
to land there and start shooting at and desecrating our religious sites. There, one of these who has a US visa for both work and visitation proceeds to fly over in his plane, which they then don't proceed to give a warning, but Chief of Police William Kidd proceeds to shout, "Shoot it down." They proceed to shoot it, flies away, and then flies back to try to see if it is someone who is a citizen of the island and or if we're being invaded. They proceed 2 squadrons, so there's approximately 7 to 8 officers there, have 2 groups of approximately 4 each, proceed to shoot at the aircraft with +3 firearm. The aircraft then proceeds to stutter and is about to go out. So the legal citizen of Little Mexico, El Jungle, eject himself from the plane with a helicopter. Sorry, with a parachute, not a helicopter, my apologies. He proceeds to then start the parachute round for his city. Whilst parachuting down to the ground, he proceeds to get shot in the back by a law enforcement officer that has jurisdiction within. From he proceeds multiple times while unarmed by law enforcement registered out of Los Santos. From there, they proceed to say that they thought he was a dinosaur, and that he was a dinosaur. Now, I don't think dinosaurs, for
Sorry.
one, can fly helicopters. Furthermore, I'm pretty sure dinosaurs are extinct. They were also calling someone Jesus, saying that they had Jesus on their side. So we believe these officers were under the influence. He then proceeded to say that he is going to sue the officers, as to which the officers laugh and say, "You can't sue us, we're out of our jurisdiction." Then the chief of the Los Santos State Police Department then proceeds to say, this is Cuba. There are no laws. He then proceeds to leave the area as he is fearing for his life. His country was just invaded by tyrants that state that they have no jurisdiction in that area. Him, being the Ministry of Defense, proceeds to fly over in an aircraft to Los Santos State Police Department and bomb dive the Los Santos State Police Department as they invaded our country, and our rules of engagement state do not shoot first unless shot upon, which was done on multiple occasions. That being said, the officers detained him, apprehended him, and then proceeded to clear him of all charges and let him go. Therefore, they cannot countersue this suit for terrorism, seeing as double jeopardy within the state of Los Santos and the United States of America. Therefore, they let him go on those charges. They cannot sue him or arrest him again for it, as double jeopardy does not exist. Then, today, approximately 12 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, a platoon of let me double check this. A platoon of 5 Los Santos.
Did they, whenever they came onto this island, are you led to believe that, because obviously if you're gonna make an expedition to a just random island in the middle of the city, you would be led to believe that they probably had a reason to do so. What do you think that would be? Because I mean, did they find anything? What was the point of going out there?
Was it
they went
something?
over there for their thing was, it is Cuba, there are no laws. That's why they went over there. And they were shooting out Florida.
Okay, well that's stupid.
Yes.
Well, especially
which
because
then-
you own that island. You're allowed to choose
It's a
who's on
sovereign
that
nation of Mexico. Exactly. That's why the Federal Investigation Bureau and the United States Defense Department have positioned a war vessel in between both Mexico and San Andreas. That's why you see our island on the map, but you don't get an in-depth view on it. We have not authorized the United States of America to come onto our island without a visa to take photos of it. You see how on your GPS say you've got really high definition of San Andreas, but no definition on Little Mexico.
Yeah.
So, anyhow, after that happens, the day directly after that happens when I fly in, my Ministry of Defense members, citizens inform me what happened. I then proceed to take a small militia of 3 people, the head of my Ministry of Defense, to the Los Santos Police Department to speak with an officer involved in the situation. From there, we proceed to ask for an apology for the invasion of our island and also for the illegal entry of my property. So he then proceeds to say that he will pass it up. I made sure to state that Little Mexico is a completely different country that they know they have no jurisdiction over, and is a sovereign nation of
Give me 1
Mexico.
second. Someone's calling me.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Jesus, Formage, this sounds
Hey, how's
crazy
it
as
going?
fuck. You trying to sue or something?
Yep, 4 mil.
Woo! You could sue people for that much?
No, not yet. But I'm at the courthouse right now. If you're trying to hang.
Trust me, it gets a lot better.
Okay.
There's more? What the fuck?
Oh, there's a lot more.
Yeah,
Oh,
but I mean,
Jesus.
I would just say in general. I mean, it's just
Mhm.
completely ridiculous of the police department to think that they can just.
You
know,
said they
fly
brought
into
like
some
8
guy's
of them
island.
out there?
Exactly.
no
like,
reason?
you know,
We've-
there's
Keep in
no
mind,
reason
we've
to go
got
out
the
there.
video of it and all.
Yeah, if you could send that to
Jesus.
me, and yeah, I mean, we definitely need to. I definitely in charge and enforce the idea to these police officers that just because they got a badge and a gun doesn't mean they can do whatever the fuck they want. That's kind of what it seems like they've been led to believe, and I don't want you know that to be believed because it's not true. You're supposed to protect the city. You're not supposed to just wave it around and do whatever the fuck you want. You can't fly onto a random man's island just because you feel like it.
I've just emailed you that. That's it, unedited, uncut, and shit. But anyway,
Okay, great.
after
Thank you.
after that situation,
Court one.
after that situation proceeds to happen, I go to the courthouse. I explain that they need a visa if they wish to come to our sovereign nation, as it's a completely different country. As they also stated when they clearly stated that they were out of their jurisdiction and that it was Cuba and that their laws don't apply there, even though our laws of Little Mexico do apply.
So is this court going to take place there then? Because
Well, I'm going to speak to Jimmy about maybe having a split jury, because where the crimes happen, it states that the jury has to be made up of members of the, of that specific
of that
state, but it's a
specific- yeah,
completely
exactly.
different country.
Right. So we're gonna have to have a split jury because
Mhm.
of the two different country.
Yep.
do you have residents in your country, or is it just militia?
Oh, yes, we do.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Sorry, I don't know too much. Sorry to be asking all these questions.
No,
this
it's
is just
okay.
very
And
intriguing.
That's honestly, that's the big reason,
Yeah.
why it's such an issue is because there's, people who live on this island. Formage, he's actually, for a long time, he's actually taken it above himself to just, create this island and have people live there to just do whatever they want. Obviously under the
funny
legal
thing
realm.
is, in that first recording I sent you, they state that it's its own country, it's its own sovereign nation. And then so earlier today we were over there. They said that they had the calls of shots fired over there. So they proceeded to fly their aircraft into my villa.
Jesus.
They proceed to land it on the roof. We ran out the front area. So they flew past my barbed wire fence with the security checkpoint to the villa.
But
Then they flew past my helicopter pad, my personal landing. They landed on the roof of the main building in my villa. They proceed to then fly down to the front entrance of my villa, which is within confinements of my property line.
Wait, so it's
And
your
then
jurisdiction, it's your island, and they came
Mhm.
out to a shots fired that's within
But-
Yep.
U.S. jurisdiction?
Yes.
That makes
then
no fucking sense.
they
yeah,
land
but
on
that's-
my
see, That's exactly
driveway.
what I'm saying is that if this is your island and this is your private property and it's got nothing to do with the city or anything anyone's doing here in the city, why are they going out there? What's the point? There's no
that's
reason
exactly-
they
that's
shouldn't be
exactly
out
what
there.
I'm
To be
saying.
honest with you.
Well, from what he's saying, they had absolutely no reason.
So
Exactly,
they
that's,
landed on my driveway
Hey Johnson, how you doing?
instead of on my property.
Hey, Jimmy.
I ran out the front gate. I locked the front gate to my home, to my abode, because that's my property. They don't have a warrant to go in
Of
there.
course, yeah.
So I go out the front. I've got my Ministry of Defense still, because we were having a tea party as we do. So
Oh
we were
my
drinking and
goodness.
stuff. So I come out. I'm like, "Hey, what are you doing here? Can I please see your passports? Where's your visas?" They said that they don't need one. That this
Keep
was
talking. I'm
part
gonna
of-
change Scott's name right here really quick.
Yeah,
Keep going. Keep going.
So they were saying that it was part of Los Santos. Surprisingly, doesn't. Yes. Weird as shit, first of all. And then they
Yeah.
proceed to ask if I consent to being. Obviously, GSR. In
There
that
you go.
sovereign nation. I then
You're welcome.
proceed to tell
So,
them
you'll
that
still
they
have
need to get
everything in your
their
bank until you
president,
fly
they
out,
need to
okay?
get their Ministry of Defense, or they need to get whoever's helping them because they're currently
I
invading.
said that you'll
my
still have everything
Ready to
in
go.
your pink until you fly out. Okay?
You have a good day, Mr. Chris.
No problem. It's only 2,500, so it's not that big of a
Ah.
deal.
So while they're there, I ask their president or the Ministry of Defense or who I can. They said my roof
The
and
least
or
we could
on-
ask. What the fuck is going on? I'm sorry to interrupt you again, but what the fuck is going on with the police force? I mean,
That's
what do they
well,
think?
Kid,
Like, what's
Kid
going
does
on?
not have the balls to order them to do what they're meant to do properly.
Well, I'm gonna have to have a fucking conversation with Mr. Kid because this
So-
is absolutely ridiculous.
To
Kid
do it 2 days in a
proceeds
row is
to-
nuts.
Yeah, that's
well, no,
insane.
because this happened today. The first event happened on the 7th.
Oh.
Sir, I don't know
It's been
who
they're
trying
you
to
are,
get
spacing
all
but
the
it
you
up.
look
documentation done.
fresh, dog. You're looking nice.
It's one of my boys. That's
so-
Junior Junior.
Oh, what's
they,
going on, Junior Junior?
So they landed. He came over. He spoke. He then proceeded to state that this was land of Los Santos and not San Andreas as the entirety of the state, just LS. They then
It's not even calling your country the right thing.
Admit that this country, this separate island, is not a part of the city at all. He's willing to admit that it's not a part of the city, and it's got nothing to do with him. But he's
When
also
he's doing
willing to take
illegal
all his
things.
boys out there and like fucking go, like what's
well,
going
no,
on
well,
with
no,
that?
see, he admitted
They go
that it
out there
wasn't a
doing
country
drugs,
when
too.
when he was doing illegal things. But then when he comes for a
Wow.
legal thing, he admits that it's a country.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna
Yep.
have to have a conversation with that
And
man.
and then he proceeds. You know, we argue back and forth that they don't have the right to be there. Who's in my car?
Hey, dog man. Don't jump in random people's
So-
cars.
He then proceeds to argue back and forth with me. I'm telling him I'm taking it to court. He's saying I can't take it to court because I'm not a U.S. citizen. But he's stating that it's a U.S. country. So if it's a U.S. country but I'm not a U.S. citizen, why I don't have to be a U.S. citizen to take someone to court.
Yeah, that's completely true. You're on my country, and if where you reside is in the U.S., then I'm taking you to court. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
It doesn't
Like,
matter where
you know,
you reside.
Yeah,
you're
you
the
could do the
person I'm
court
taking
case
to
here. You
court.
could
We
do the
can-
court case in Little
exactly.
Mexico. Regardless,
Exactly.
you're
We can
getting
do it in Little
charged.
Mexico. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. Well, if we're doing it in Little Mexico, any crime against El Presidente is met with death.
Oh well.
It's the
you know,
death
we'll have
penalty,
to-
which I know that we can't, under certain international laws,